I want to segue from that into a very quick spritz about what we're facing right now in the defense of democracy, the real threat to democracy here, right here. And it's happening all over the world, or has happened all over the world. Democracies are very fragile, they're very vulnerable, and we are seeing not just Trump, but the fanatics who are with him, let's say the MAGA people, and other people who are out there who really want to abandon or obliterate democracy in order to push their agenda. And their agenda is wide. It's a wide agenda. It's not only the things you know about, like anti-abortion, anti-immigrant, anti-public spending, anti-economic fairness, anti, and accomplishing nothing. They really got nothing accomplished in those 4 years. And they've stymied the Democratic Party from getting things that are really important under Biden. And he's been able to get some of it, but a lot of things have been stymied by the House of Representatives. So this year, 2024, is going to be a historic year, an historic year where the polarization is going to just get more intense. It's not going to go away. So those of you who think that we can sit around and sing Kumbaya with our opponents, I'm sorry. Now, there are some people who are moderate, there are some centrists, but most of the energy is on the left or the right. But the left is not dangerous. The left has not done an insurrection. The left has not attacked the Capitol. The left has not tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan. The left hasn't gone to locations where MAGA people are heavily concentrated and try to attack them. They haven't shown up at the Conservative Political Action Committee conventions. They haven't shown up at the gun places, the gun rights people. They haven't done any of that. Probably because they don't believe in that. They don't arm themselves, basically, and they would be outgunned by the people on the right, who many of whom have been advanced training in the military, even though the military itself is kosher. But these people have left the military, have incorporated some really fascist type of attitudes from that, and are now, in many cases, leading some of those groups, like the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and some of those other groups. And they're militant. They're beyond militant. They're major insurrectionists. They're willing to do almost anything to intimidate others and to take over. And the fact that we have a media which almost none of it calls a spade a spade. Almost none of it takes this on in a direct way. I mean, the media sometimes still calls these people conservatives. There's nothing, quote, conservative about that. Read Edmund Burke or something. Even Reagan, who was, pretty nutty, was not off the rails the way this is, the way Trump is, the way these people are. So the idea that these are conservatives is ludicrous. Even the Supreme Court, it's not conservative. Maybe we can't call it fascist, but we can call it extremely right-wing. They've reinterpreted the Constitution in an unbelievable way. Members of Congress are not conservatives. They're out and out ultra-rightists, or some are fascists like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, and so forth. So we come up with these false equivalencies, and it just obscures the truth. And obscuring the truth maybe keeps some people feeling comfortable, feeling less alert, less on guard, less agitated, but it doesn't serve the public purpose. of explaining and disseminating what is legitimate news. Now, really, if you listen to the BBC, as I do, the quality of BBC journalism is light years ahead of the US, even ahead of PBS and NPR and so forth. It's simply much better. It's been around much longer. They have correspondents everywhere. So we're not getting the truth, or we're not getting the full story, of course, and we're getting instead a very whitewashed story, I would say. Of course, people are complaining the lack of true balance on the Israel-Gaza thing, but also on Ukraine. Sure, we're pro-Ukraine, and so am I, but we haven't gotten enough on that either. We haven't gotten really, by and large, into the full story. We need a new journalism. We need honest, looking right in the bullseye of the people who are ready and able and willing to undermine and destroy democracy here. Stay tuned for more segments on this as we're getting closer to the election.